All right, guys, big day here. Cut the frame, and actually I had no idea how much frame I was gonna have to cut to fit the seat that I wanted. So actually, okay, buddy. So this is how much was cut on either side. So we're talking 10 inches maybe. And if you'll notice where the hoop is placed, it only goes about halfway out to the rest of the bike. But what I did here, so what I have done before is you get the hoop and then you run some steel plugs, right, to connect it to the frame, presuming you're gonna plug the other end of the frame into, or the other end of the plug into here, and you weld it twice so it provides some rigidity. But if you look at the way this bike's frame is shaped, it actually has almost like a gusseted section that goes up, it supports the tail, that's connected into the rear shocks. So I couldn't just cut the tube and try and stick it in there, because obviously there's gonna leave all of this, and this is all structural here. This actually ties into the shock itself. So none of this could really go. I just cut off at the end. But what I did is I cut the top half of the frame off, like so, on either side. And now I've been able to take the hoop and set it into that. I'm still gonna be able to use these plugs. I'll weld the plug into the hoop, then weld the other end of it like this. And actually, I can't decide how far out I want it. I'm gonna have to take some more measurements. This might actually sit flush with where the frame is, or it might sit back. And what I can do, where does it go? Oh, here it is. I can actually reuse the top sections that I cut out, cut them down to size, weld in here, and then put the piece of the frame back in, providing more welds here and more rigidity to the hoop. So yeah, I mean, that worked out really, really well. I literally just finished the cutting. I got my cutting wheel here. But what I'm gonna have to do is do a little bit of sanding and grinding on the inside of the frame, because it's just a little bit thicker than it needs to be to allow this to sit flush. But once I do a little bit of grinding in there, this hoop will sit right down in there and I think provide excellent rigidity to the frame. Afterwards, what I'm also gonna do is run a kind of a, I don't know what you call it, like a frame support between these 2 points like this, because actually the mounting point for the rear mounting point for the seat that I got is actually back here. So I'll run a piece of steel. Actually, I think I have a piece of steel I already cut off this bike that I can run from here to here that provides additional rigidity to the rear end like this, and also we'll be able to support the seat. Here's the wiring for the integrated turn signals and brake light in the back here. But yeah, man, I can't tell you how pleased I am with the way this worked out. I was really worried because it had this gusset, what I was gonna do, but I think this is gonna work out really, really well and be very secure and provide the rigidity I want so that I can really carve some corners with this bike, because yeah, I mean, that's what she's made for, right? Leaning them in. So in the next video, what I will do is I'll actually finish up this welding here. I'll grind this out, finish this welding here, and then hopefully have the tube permanently mounted. And then I can paint back there. The tank, I'm about to start stripping that off. I went and bought the paint stripper to start peeling the paint off of that. And then I'll weld in the recessed plate here with a screw-in top for that. Cut off the overflow here. Thankfully, I've got some great comments on my last video that really helped me know what I needed to go next and what I needed to do. So as always, thanks for that, guys. I really appreciate it. But yeah, that'll be good to go. And then hopefully we'll get those in place. Once I've got the tank and the seat back mounted, hopefully I can put the carbs back on, thanks to some comments I got on the last video as well. And we can test fire this bad boy. And then after that, it's finishing touches. So painting the frame, section by section. It's gonna need two new tires, excuse me. It doesn't have any gear oil in the back, and I believe it's actually got a leak on one of the main shaft seals or drive shaft seals here. But the front brakes work. The back brakes need to be replumbed, but they're in good shape. Yeah, it's coming along. I can't tell you how stoked I am about having the frame cut though, because that is just gonna cut a vicious line, and I'm excited. So hopefully soon you'll be able to see tank plus seat with the hoop. And we'll finish some wiring too. I've already got most of the wiring set up so I can run it to the back. Yeah, man, we're getting there. We're getting there. So as always, thanks for your support. If you see anything I need to know or have any suggestions, please hit me in the comments, because I really appreciate it. Take care, guys.